Never mind my hair, it's drying. I just got out of the shower. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another monthly chronicle, this time for August 2013. We're really booking through this month and I don't really like that the year's going this fast. Before we start, I wanted to check something real quick, and that is something as relating to YouTube on YouTube. I have 159 subscribers on YouTube right now, which is really amazing. I mean, I was unaware that I actually had that many. I hadn't been paying attention. But I really have to just say thank you to each and every one of my subscribers because this is just really amazing. I mean, every YouTuber who reaches a certain amount of subscribers is always like, I never imagined to get so many, but it actually is true because I never really expected to get very many subscribers. I just created YouTube because some old friends of mine wanted to see some of my older videos, so I created a YouTube channel to put the videos on and show them to them. And it just expanded from there, and so it's the fact that I have this many subscribers, it's almost 360, is just kind of mind-blowing to me, and I really am thankful to every one of you, and I hope to keep putting out excellent content for you guys into the future. On to the topic of this month's vlog, which is my top 5 favorite actors who were cast perfectly to a specific role in a movie. Now, I've been doing these like top 10s and stuff like that, ranking systems recently in my vlogs because I haven't really had that much to talk about, and I really do like doing these kinds of things. And I actually really hoped that it would make these vlogs a little more interactive between me and the subscribers. I'll say what I think on a certain thing, like I think that this Star Trek movie is better than that Star Trek movie, and see like maybe what you think. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this one this month. But I'm going to be going in reverse order as usual. So my number 5 role that was perfectly cast in the movie, I'm going to say Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man or Tony Stark. Now, I don't really know much about the comics themselves. I never really grew up reading superhero comics. I never really watched superhero movies in general until like it became like this really big thing, and I was like the last person to get on board with it. I have not seen Iron Man 3 yet, so I can't comment on that, but in like the original Iron Man and in the Avengers, Robert Downey Jr.'s performances really have made those movies shine. And I was really surprised in Avengers especially because he didn't overpower all the other actors in that movie. There's a real lot to be said for that because I was actually kind of afraid that the Avengers would just be Iron Man and then a handful of other superheroes from these other movies. But it really was about all of them, and Robert Downey Jr. could still shine, and it didn't have to be overpowering. At number 4, this is my favorite. It may be my favorite movie overall out of all movies, but when it comes to perfectly cast actors and stuff, I think there are a couple ones that really just stand out more. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in the Indiana Jones movies. There's a little bit of a story as to that. I'm sure if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you probably know of it, but when George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were first going to be casting the role of Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Spielberg had suggested Harrison Ford, to which George Lucas said, I don't think that's a good idea because he's already been in my American Graffiti movie and he's already been in my Star Wars movies. I don't want every single movie I have with Harrison Ford in it. They went after a couple other actors who had to decline because of other commitments and they were left with no one, so Spielberg suggested Harrison Ford again, and Harrison Ford said yes, and he became one of the most iconic movie heroes of all. And personally, my favorite movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark. So now, when I'm doing these top 5 actor things, I mean, you've already seen from Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones that these aren't necessarily like book-to-film adaptation kind of things, because a lot of the times these kinds of things would be more sensible with the film-to-book adaptations. Film-to-book, I said that backwards. Book-to-film adaptations. But there are just some movies you can watch and you think, if that had been any other actor, this movie would have been terrible. And I really think that's the case with Pirates of the Caribbean if you didn't have Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I mean, I've looked at some other actors who I heard were auditioned for Jack Sparrow or tried out for or were asked to play Jack Sparrow. I remember one of them was Robin Williams, and I remember thinking that if that had been Robin Williams, this movie would not have been nearly as good. So, number 3, definitely Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. At number 2, I'm going to put Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit movies. Now, if there's any one thing that I really loved about the Hobbit movie, is Martin Freeman's performance as Bilbo. The role had previously been played by Sir Ian Holm in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and for this Hobbit one, which takes place before the Lord of the Rings, they needed a younger actor, and Martin Freeman really brings that role to life in a way that's both faithful to Ian Holm's previous performance, but at the same time is just perfect to the character as described in the book. And number 1, I really had to put some restraint on myself to do this list because I could just do the entire top 5 just on Harry Potter characters alone, because the Harry Potter movies are some of the best cast movies I have ever seen. And the amount of talented actors they brought in who perfectly embody the characters from the books are just like unheard of. There are so many that are just absolutely perfect. And I'm saying a lot of the same words, just I forget it. At the top of all of them has to be Alan Rickman as Professor Snape. Now, I had heard a story, I may be getting the name wrong, but I heard a story that Warner Brothers actually wanted a different actor named Tim Roth. I might be wrong with his name. It might have been Tim Ruth, or may not even have been any, his name might not have even been Tim. I don't know. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books, stepped in and said Alan Rickman is Snape. And she even went as far as to give Alan Rickman specific details about Snape's character that would not even be revealed until the final book in the series, which at that point had not yet been written. So she put a lot of faith into Alan Rickman, and for good reason, because he is probably the best actor out of all the Harry Potter actors to embody a role from those books. So I've been doing the film fun facts at the end of every video. I had said last month, at least I think I said last month, that I'm not going to give you film fun facts if the vlog itself is all about something from a film. So you probably got a lot of film fun facts in there anyway. Like I told you the story behind how Harrison Ford was cast, and I told you about other actors who had been considered for Jack Sparrow, and the story of how Alan Rickman was cast in Sorcerer's Stone. So with this, I will just leave you with bye, and thanks for your support.